To learn a second language or a language which is not your mother tongue, you usually need a lot of grammar. And grammar is something most people find difficult. They say, however much we learn, we are not able to master grammar. I will show you a simple method by which you can not only learn what you have already studied in your school, but you can remember better because you are doing it on your own. You're not depending on a grammar book which will give you an exercise where you can get a lot of correct answers. But in real life, you will use this technique when you are listening, when you are speaking, when you are reading. If you keep analyzing the grammar which is being used, then you will learn well and you will not make mistakes, because slowly your ability to use the language correctly improves. And that is what grammar does. Grammar helps us to use the language correctly. Many times we make mistakes. Recently I was traveling a lot in places where English is not the mother tongue. And then instead of saying, I don't understand English, because we didn't know their language, they said, no English. That means, I do not know English. That is what they meant. No here, N-O, no English. I don't have any English. I don't know how to use English. In this way, we find that grammar becomes important. Now, in today's video, I'm going to use a very simple story. All of you know this story, I'm sure, that on a summer day, a thirsty crow is looking for water. Then it finds the water in a pot, but it can't reach with its beak, it can't reach that water. So he takes some pebbles, pebbles are small stones, and puts it in the water. Then the water rises and the crow drinks that water. It's simple. Just in 5 sentences, I have used this story. And when you analyze those 5 sentences, you will learn a valuable lesson as to how each sentence you read or you listen to, each sentence you speak or you write, can teach you good grammar. You don't require a big grammar book. Very often question is asked, Madam, which is the best grammar book? Now, how can I tell you which is the best? There are many books in the market and all of them are good. But we cannot say this is the best and this is this is just good or this is just average. That is not possible at all. So let us now look at this story. As I told you, these are 5 sentences to describe the story of the crow and its thirst. So the first sentence, as you can see in front of you, is, it was a hot summer day and the sun was shining brightly. Now look at this sentence. As soon as you see the word and, you know that this is a conjunction. It is a joining word. It can join 2 clauses. Here are 2 clauses. It was a hot summer day, clause number 1. Then the sun was shining brightly. These are the 2 clauses. We can make them into 2 sentences. You can say, it was a hot summer day, and you can say the sun was shining brightly. But if you want to join it into 1 sentence, you put and. So we have conjunctions are used like this to join 2 words, the sun and the moon, or to join 2 phrases, the hot sun and the cool moon. Like this we can use. Now you look at the sentence. It was, it is the subject, was is the verb. Verb to be has many forms, was is used here because it is a singular subject. That is a pronoun. A hot summer day. That is the object of the sentence. Day is a noun and two descriptions are there for it, hot and summer. We don't say summer and hot because that's the order of adjectives which I have already explained to you in a video. You can watch that. So we say hot summer. Both are adjectives of quality. And we also have an article. Day, singular, common noun, requires always an article. So it was a hot summer day. You have all the parts. And we have already finished. The sun, here the subject of this clause is sun. The is the article which we use for sun. There is only one sun in our whole system. Therefore, we call it as with the particular. The sun was shining. Now here it is not only was, but it is was shining. That is past continuous tense. We are talking about the past, long back when the crow was thirsty. So that is past. But it is continuing for some time. The sun was shining. From the verb shine, was shining. And then you have the adverb. An adverb usually describes a verb or an adjective. Here shining. Shining in what way? Brightly. That means lots of light, heat was coming out of the sun. Sun was shining brightly. In the first sentence, you might have seen many parts of speech. We saw a pronoun, we saw two nouns, we saw an adverb, a conjunction, two adjectives. We also saw a simple verb and a continuous form of the verb shine, and we also saw articles. Now see, from one sentence, how much of grammar you have learned. You can go back and check all these grammar videos which are there on the channel. Now let us look at the second sentence. A crow felt thirsty. Now there's a semicolon. Sentence has not finished. So there is a comma. Punctuation is also very important. He began searching for water. Now we have again two clauses, two sentence parts. The semicolon shows that the first and the second sentence are related. So is a joining word. So, to join these two we have used. Now the first part is a crow. Now look at, we are talking about any one crow. One crow, we say a crow. Article a, crow, which is a black colored bird. All of you have seen it, I'm sure. The noun, and it's a singular noun. Felt thirsty. Now, felt. The verb feel, past tense, is felt. In the past tense, we have no problem. If it was present tense, we would say a crow feels thirsty. I feel thirsty. You feel thirsty. So when it comes to the crow, we say feels with an S, not without an S. But felt past tense, no problem. Thirsty. Thirsty is a complement. It is an adjective. But here it is used to complete the sentence. That is why we call it complement. Now then, so is again a joining word, a conjunction. He. Now he is a pronoun referring to the crow. We don't repeat it two times. We don't have to repeat it. Began. The verb is began, past tense. Begin is the present tense. Past tense is began. And past participle is begun. Three different forms are there. These are all called verbs which are very strong verbs. And they are also verbs which are irregular verbs. All this I have done in the grammar videos. Now you come to searching. Began searching. Now here it is not I am searching, you are searching, etc. So we call it a non-finite verb. Searching here is functioning as a noun. Began work, began talking, began a dance, began the meeting. In this way, we require, after began, we require a noun. And shun. Searching is doing the work of a noun here. We call it as a gerund. Then you also have a preposition, because we want to add one more noun, water. So you can't add searching water. Preposition will be missing then. So for every new noun you add, you have to put a preposition. So for water, preposition plus noun. So we have now come across preposition, which we didn't come across in the earlier sentence. Other than that, we had everything else. There we had an adverb, here no adverb at all. I hope you are able to follow all the grammar which we are doing in such a simple story. Sentence number 3 is a longer sentence. You see that? The crow saw a pot which had some water, but the level of the water was low. Actually, there are 3 units in this sentence. We can make it into 3 sentences. The crow saw a pot, full stop. The pot had some water, full stop. The level of water was low. The level of water in the pot was low. But we didn't do that. We joined it all into a single sentence. When you speak, you must remember that you can say the same thing in a long sentence or a short sentence. You can say it in different words using a different vocabulary also. In this way, you can learn vocabulary too. But today we are going to only talk about grammar. The crow. Now see, in the earlier sentence it was a crow because we were talking about any crow, which is thirsty. Here we are talking about the same crow we spoke about in the second sentence. So we put a definite article. The crow saw. Saw is the past tense of the verb see. Now you require an object. Saw what? A pot. A pot is, a vessel, round shaped vessel. So pot is singular, common noun. Therefore, it requires an article. So we say a pot. We don't say crow saw pot. Both articles are missing. That sentence is not correct. We say the crow saw a pot. Now, which is a relative pronoun, because we use the relative pronoun to replace. We say the pot had some water. So the pot is already there. Again pot you say, not necessary. You remove the second repetition of the noun and use a pronoun. But what kind of pronoun? A relative pronoun, because it shows relationship. All these grammar lessons are there in videos in great detail which you can watch. So which is a relative pronoun? Had. Had is the past tense of the verb have. Have is, something which is there. So what does it have? Some water. Water is a noun. Some is an adjective of quantity. Some means small quantity. But again is conjunction. The level of the water. Now you have a subject which is called, a complex subject. The water is actually the subject. But we are not talking about the water here. We are talking about the level of the water. The water is up to that point, very low. Was low. Low is an adjective. Was is a verb we have already come across. Of is a preposition because we have 2 nouns. We cannot have 2 nouns side by side unless you use a preposition. Preposition is like glue. It noun to noun, noun to sentence. That is what the work it does. It's not like universal glue, that is conjunction. Conjunction can stick anything to anything. Word, phrase, clause, sentence, anything it can do. Not so the preposition. Here is sentence number 4, which you can read on the screen. The crow put some pebbles into the pot to raise the level of the water. The level of the water we have already done, so no need to do anything with that. We already know the different parts of that. To raise is here a non-finite verb from the verb raise or rise, so we say to raise. Now here we have the words the crow, already we have come across subject of the sentence. Put is the verb here. Put, present tense is put, past tense also is put. Please remember that both the same forms are there. Unlike read, which is pronounced differently although it is spelt the same. R-E-A-D past tense is spelt as R-E-A-D but pronounced as read past tense. Read present tense, same spelling. But here it is not like that. Here the present tense is also pronounced as put, past tense. Here it is the past tense because the story is in the past tense. Put some pebbles. Pebbles, as I told you already, small pieces of stone. Some means small quantity like we had earlier. Some water. So some pebbles into the pot. Now put is a moving verb, a verb which shows motion. So we don't use in the pot. The preposition is not in but into because there is a movement. And the pot again is noun. It is the object of the sentence. It is a prepositional object because it comes after the preposition. Now we have come to the end of the story, and that is the last sentence you can see on the screen. The crow drank the water and quenched his thirst. Now here you see crow again subject. Drank is the verb, present tense drink, past tense drank. Now drank requires object. So what did the crow drink? It drank the water. Usually we say water without article. But here we are talking about the water inside the pot. So we are talking about specific water. The crow just didn't drink any other water. It drank the water inside the pot. Therefore, we have to use the article the. The crow drank the water and. You remember I told you in the first sentence, and is a conjunction. It joins two sentences. Now here the subject is not necessary. I remember somebody asked me this question. This is called ellipsis in grammar, where the subject is the same. We can remove the subject from the second sentence. So the crow quenched his thirst. That is how it should be. And the crow quenched his thirst. But the crow is already there in the beginning. So we remove it when we are putting and. Specifically in certain conjunctions, this ellipsis applies. So and quenched. Quench is to satisfy. You know, when you are thirsty and it becomes satisfied, we call it as quench. So quenched, past tense of quench. His thirst. His is a pronoun, but it's acting as an adjective. These are called possessive pronouns acting as adjectives. You know, my, our, your, his, her, its, their. These are all, clearly explained in other videos. If you want the link of all these videos, all you have to do is send me the comment by saying, please send the link of the pronoun video. Please send the link of the subject-object video. Please send the link of the verb or the tense, continuous tense we did, past tense we did, simple past. These videos, I will give you the link. Then you can watch them and practice. And then, of course, thirst. Thirst here is a noun. I gave you another word, thirsty. That is the adjective form of the noun thirst. So, quenched his thirst. That is the end of the story, and we have learnt almost all the different varieties of English. Oh, the crow quenched his thirst. If we say, The word O becomes interjection. All the other parts we have done. We have done noun, pronoun, verb, adjective, adverb, preposition, conjunction, and now I gave you an example of interjection. These are the 8 parts of speech. So practice like this with small 3 or 4 sentences each day, and you will find within a week or 10 days you have a firm foundation of grammar. Let me know after watching the video whether you are able to practice like I have told you.
Thank you for watching this video. If you want more videos like this, you have to let me know in the comment box. Don't forget to press the bell icon, which will notify you about new videos. If you think this video is useful, like it and hype it also. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, and share the videos widely with all others who you think need to improve their English. And finally, join as a member, because all members have been improving their English immensely in the last 1 year since we started the membership drive. See you again in the next video.